is Paul Teng. I'm co-founder and group CEO of 6cap. And today I'm going to talk a little bit about human relevance and AI. I think for those of you who were here earlier today, you heard my good friend, Dr. A. Kablan, talk about the technology side of AI. And one of the things I want to share about today in this session, and I promise it won't be long, is AI from the sociological standpoint. A little bit of very quick background about myself. I am officially trained as a criminologist. I am a very proud gamer, and I was captain in the Air Force under the Geospatial Division. All right, let's go kick right on ahead. So just to start off this session, I wanted to share with you one thing when I visited my friends over at MIT. And this was written on Medium quite a while back. Amazon Echo, for those of you who are familiar, is an AI-enabled contraption that allows you to talk to it, to control music, to purchase things on Amazon, ask it really complex questions and get really cool answers. So Hunter Walk wrote on Medium that he wrote about how Amazon Echo's Alexa, which is the AI behind it, is magical. It's great. It does so many cool things, but it's also turning his 9-year-old into an asshole. And the reason here why is because AI today, as it is applied in consumer products like this, right, they do not register this concept of politeness, right? We can interact with it almost as though it's like a human, but then there's no need to be polite to it, unlike human-to-human interaction. So I think this is a major milestone in terms of the development of AI moving forward from the perspective of human-to-human interaction. So I'm going to talk to you about this concept of human relevance and what does human relevance really mean. So as a criminologist, we always like to start off from a very philosophical standpoint. This is, I've been listening throughout the entire forum, and I've been listening to the way people introduce themselves as I hover around in the networking area. And people always do it like this. Hi, I'm Paul, group CEO of 6cap. So let me break it down for you. Show of hands, anyone who does not do this? Great. So how do I break this down? Hi. Hi is an opening for politeness. It's an opening to a greeting to say, hi, I'm now talking to you. So it's like me registering with an AI that, please register my voice and listen to what I have to say. I am Paul. Paul is my name. A human's name is his marker of existence. So if you take a name from a criminology standpoint, if you take the name away from a person, you effectively make him cease to exist. What follows right after that is our marker of purpose. Right? I'm the group CEO of 6cap. Hi, I'm Bob and I'm a farmer. Or hi, my name is John and I'm a real estate agent. Humans are defined first by their name, which gives them the marker for existence, and then thereafter what they do. With the rise of AI, and if you accept the logic that eventually in its advanced state, AI will get to a point whereby it can do everything much better and faster and quicker than us, then the second part of our existence is challenged. And this is where the whole concept of human relevance begins. We become, hi, I'm Paul, full stop. And we start to lose our purpose. The rise of AI doesn't challenge who we are, but our purpose, which is built upon what we do. So why is this relevant for Indonesia? Right? Industrial revolutions displace workers. I'm really glad that the minister earlier touched upon the fourth industrial revolution already, so that I don't have to go through it in deep length. The first industrial revolution in 1784 saw steam, water, mechanical production equipment. The second, 1870, saw mass production, electricity. Third, 1969, electronics, IT, and automated production. And today we are entering the fourth industrial revolution, which is cyber physical systems, robotics, automation, AI, and the Internet of Things, right? And so far in history, every time there's an industrial revolution, workers get displaced, and that's a huge problem, and it doesn't matter which country you come from. Germany. Germany welcomes Industry 4.0. Do not ask me why there's an IE at the back. What is Industry 4.0 all about? Germany is a developed country. And this is a strategic national initiative to establish the country back as a lead market and provider of advanced manufacturing solutions. Fundamentally, if you look at the picture they use, that means cheaper, higher quality, manufacturing through robotics and AI, effectively without people. That pretty much sums it up about what the fourth industrial revolution is all about. Worker displacement is the opposite of growth. So let's have a look at some examples of where AI is today. This is something that I've been really excited to share with a lot of people. Her name is Sophia. If you look closely at the image, she does not have hair, and that's because she's the world's first android. You've heard from my good friend Dr. A. Kablan, who sacrificed going and attending the Web Summit in Lisbon this year to come down to the Indonesian Economic Forum to share with us a lot more about AI and what he's doing with 6CAP. That's our Chief Scientific Officer. So, Abs, I'm sorry you missed this. It's really cool. Say hello to Sophia. She, the android, delivered an entire keynote speech and a Q&A session at the recent Web Summit all on her own. So people, the two presenters from Hanson Robotics stood up there and started asking Sophia questions, and she was just answering them as though she was human. Hanson Robotics is quite famous in this field because they managed to give her human-like expressions, so she could smile, she could laugh, she could give you a snort and stuff like that. And that's really cool because this is, a major landmark in terms of moving towards AI in what do you call that? In a space whereby AI becomes a little bit more human. I think we're all very familiar with Alphago from Google DeepMind, about how Alphago managed to beat Lee Sedol, an 18-time world champion Go player, at his own game. A little bit about AI in the game of Go, right? When AI plays the game of Go, in case you guys don't know, Go is the game whereby you put beads on a table and then you try to corner off people. The interesting thing about the game of Go is that it was fully observable. Alphago was able to exist within a perfect information environment, so it could see the board, it could, based on dynamic optimization and probability, figure out what would be the different courses of action that the player could take, and then thereafter counter that move. Eventually, if I remember correctly, it was a 4:1, and Alphago essentially beat Lee Sedol. So what's next, right? What's Google DeepMind's next move? And this is something that's really exciting for myself as a gamer, because Google DeepMind recently announced that it's going to co-create with Blizzard, the makers behind the pinnacle of competitive gaming and the godfathers of esports, StarCraft 2, right? They want to do this because they want to use StarCraft 2 as a research environment to push the boundaries of AI so that it's able to solve really, really complex problems without needing to be told how to do it, and do all this in an imperfect information environment, right? What they hope to achieve is a quicker and more efficient and adaptive AI. So I promised a lot of the people that I spoke to today that I'll share with them what StarCraft 2 is all about and how that plays into AI. So here goes. StarCraft 2 is an interesting game because it's, well, to start off with, it's real-time strategy for those of you who are not familiar with it. And the difference with Go and StarCraft 2 is that when a player starts out in StarCraft 2, you have to be able to do two things, right? First, your main objective is to build your base up, manage your in-game economy, build up an army, and kick your opponent's ass. One thing that a lot of players do when they start playing StarCraft 2, and it's critical that you do this, when you start the game, you generally have in your mind a plan of what you're going to do. Okay, I'm going to do this strategy because it's working out pretty well now. The probability and statistics online says that a lot of players are using this build, so I'm going to use this build to counter that. The moment you set your foot on the battlefield, you scout your opponent, you see one change in his strategy, and that changes your own strategy tremendously. Google DeepMind is looking into this degree of complexity to teach the AI to be able to make complex decisions in an evolving environment. So think about its real-world applications like driving a car, or trying to get it to be able to interact a lot deeper with humans among us. So skills required, according to Google DeepMind, the skills required could ultimately transfer to real-world tasks. Effective use of memory, the ability to plan over a long time, and as I just mentioned through the example earlier, the capacity to adapt plans based on new information revealed to you, all within the limits of human dexterity. I put in bold the last line from Google DeepMind because it's quite interesting about how they're trying to limit the AI so that it becomes a little bit more human, but at the same time push the boundaries of the technology behind the AI. So I thought that was really interesting. So, okay, again, back to human relevance. How about we ask a little question? Which is better, male or female? So those that say male are better, please raise your hands. Good, everyone is married. Who says female? Female is better. You are married. You are married too. Yes. So okay. I'm married as well, and my wife has taught me to say that female are better, always. And but the key thing here is this. Whenever I go around to talk to people about this topic, I always ask them this question. And it's very funny. People always struggle to justify and answer this question. Is male better? Is female better? Some people come back with the answer like, male is better in certain things and female are better at certain things, but that's always debunked, right? So they struggle with it. Now, we live in a world that is flooded with smartphones and information overload. And I think it's important for people in the digital era to be able to decide how to answer a question, right? And when I look at this question, and people ask me, so what is the answer to this question? The real key point here is that the question is irrelevant. You should be questioning the question, right? The real answer here is that it doesn't matter who is better. It doesn't matter if you're male or female. We believe in this concept of hybrid intelligence, whereby cooperation is more important than competition. It's not about whether male or female is better. It's about if you're male or female and you do this really well, go do that, right? And then after that, it's about coming together to cooperate, collaborate, and co-create a sustainable future moving forward. So we enshrine this belief in our business model. And I think Chief, as well as Dr. Kaplan, has shared a little bit about Vision Alpha and Rice Bowl and an Alphabot, which is the business model that, it's a hybrid business model that outperforms human and algorithmic trading systems that we have today. We call this our core engine. Just to give you an analogy to sum it up so that it's not so complicated, Vision Alpha is a platform whereby a lot of traders provide market insights in a risk-free and accessible and engaging environment. So that means demo trading, pure data, right? And all that goes into Rice Bowl, which thereafter decides and picks through the use of machine learning and AI algorithms to decide what are the very valuable trades, and then thereafter extract the value from there. The analogy is of a sniper, right? So how do you make a kill shot? It's pretty simple. If it's purely human, then the sniper first calibrates against the wind, against the distance, guesses the trajectory, goes against his gut feel of where the bullet is going to land, right? But the stress point, and because I was in the military before and I got quite a number of friends that went to sniper school, they always tell me that the greatest stress point of a sniper is at the point where you pull the trigger, right? And that's where fear comes in. Now, the human does the calibration very well, right? I think Dr. Kaplan, when he was speaking in the UK, mentioned about how, despite the imperfections of humans, right, they still do very well in terms of predicting market and producing market insights. That's very similar to this, right? For a sniper, he's got that gut feel, that human element that allows him to calibrate a sniper rifle very well. That's based on experience, that's based on skill, that's based on mathematics. But at the end of the day, the most difficult thing, the thing that can throw off all his calibration, is the point where he pulls the trigger.